Have you ever stood at your front door, still holding your keys, and suddenly let out a sigh of relief like you just set down a heavy backpack? Not because the outside world is scary, but because out there, you've had to stay in character for too long. And here, there's only you, a familiar space, and the feeling that you don't have to prove anything anymore. If you've ever felt most alive in that quiet, I want to tell you one thing right away. You're not out of sync with life at all. You simply have a very subtle way of living that many people don't understand yet. Welcome to Sharelife, a place where every story becomes a small mirror reflecting ourselves. Here, we don't rush, don't judge. We simply listen to what life is trying to teach us through the stories around us, and from them, we discover what is worth holding on to understand, to grow, and to live better each day. In the US, Canada, the UK, or Europe, the pace of life often pushes us into a quiet competition. Weekends have to have plans. Nights have to have meetups. You have to go out to feel like you're enjoying life. Mexico City is vibrant. London is packed. New York never sleeps. Berlin always has something to discover. And when you look at all that, you think it's beautiful too. But there are days when just thinking about having to make small talk, put up with noise, smile at the right moments, answer "How are you?" 10 more times is enough to exhaust you. Then you start asking yourself, is something wrong with me? Am I missing out on my youth? This is where a lot of people get stuck. They don't hate life. They just hate the feeling of being dragged along by life without being asked. If you're still listening at this point, let me ask you a very small question, and you can answer really quickly in the comments. Even a short sentence is fine. What is it about home that makes you feel most like yourself? The warm, yellow light, the smell of a hot drink, the familiar chair, or the silence? Answer it, and consider it 10 seconds you give yourself to realize, oh, so this is what I need. The truth is, people who love being at home usually don't lack energy. They're sensitive to energy. They clearly feel the atmosphere of a place, the noise, the lighting, the chaos, half-true, half-joking conversations, the judging looks. Some people call that introversion. Some call it being highly sensitive, and some simply call it having your battery drained in crowds. Whatever type you are, the common point is this: your nervous system needs a place to cool down, to return to a steady state. And home, if you build it the right way, isn't just 4 walls. It's a charging station. But this isn't to tell you to shrink yourself. It's to help you understand that staying home can be a mature choice, an intentional choice, and a life that's deeply rich. So instead of only saying, stay home to rest, I want to offer you a few new ways to turn staying home into a deep life, without boredom, without isolating yourself, without running away. Try making your own peace menu. It might sound strange, but it's extremely effective. Write down 10 activities that help you recover across 3 energy levels. Low, just need to survive the day. Medium, able to take care of yourself. High, able to create. Low can be a 5 to 7 minute warm shower, putting on clean clothes, playing one single song, and lying still. Medium is cooking something simple, tidying a corner of your desk, watering plants. High is drawing, writing, doing a personal project, learning a skill. When you have that menu, on exhausted days in rainy Vancouver or gloomy Manchester, you won't panic anymore. What should I do to feel better? You just pick one item from the menu, and your body is cared for like a friend, not like a machine. You can also create a micro-adventure right at home, a small adventure without needing a crowd. For example, a night of traveling by taste, by trying a dish you've never cooked before, Mexican-style tacos, simple Italian pasta, then playing a playlist from that region. Or a movie theater night at home, but done seriously. Turn off the lights, prep snacks, choose a meaningful film, and afterward write 5 lines. Which scene do I remember most? Why? You'll be surprised at how rich your emotions are when you're not being pulled in every direction. And one important thing, staying home doesn't mean cutting yourself off from people. People who love being at home usually don't need many relationships, but they need real ones. You can nurture connection in gentler ways. A 15-minute call with family, a voice message instead of back-and-forth texting, or an online coffee with a friend in a different time zone. You don't have to show up to every hangout to prove you're okay. You just need to keep a few warm threads, enough so your heart doesn't dry out. Now let me be blunt for a moment. If you keep forcing yourself into a loud life just because you're afraid of being judged, the cost is often exhaustion, losing focus, irritability, and worse, you start feeling uncomfortable with yourself. You go out, but you're not truly there. You smile, but in your head you're just hoping to get back home. And when that repeats, you can fall into an empty feeling. Who am I living for? On the other hand, if you allow yourself to rest the right way, you'll see a very clear benefit. A clearer mind, softer emotions, sharper intuition, and you start choosing quality meetups instead of a packed schedule. You don't disappear from the world. You just step into it as a healthier version of yourself. There's one more exercise I want to suggest. For people who tend to hold emotions but can't name them, name the day. Every night, choose one word to label today. Calm, unsteady, warm, tense, hopeful. Just one word. It's small but deep because it teaches you to recognize yourself instead of chasing other people's rhythm. And when you understand yourself, you'll be less easily pulled by things like, you should go out more, or why aren't you more social? You'll smile and think, I'm social in my own way. If you see yourself in these words, I want you to make one very simple commitment next week. Choose one guilt-free night at home. Not being at home while blaming yourself at the same time. You can light a candle, make a warm drink, open the window for 5 minutes to hear the city breathe, then do one small thing that nourishes you. That's not laziness. That's recovery. And recovery is a beautiful kind of discipline. If this touched you, leave a comment with the word home, along with one activity from your peace menu, so people like you can read it and feel, oh, I have a community. And if you want me to make more videos about being alone without feeling lonely, setting boundaries with friends/coworkers, and building a deep life within the busy Western pace, please like and subscribe so you don't miss it. Thank you for being here. In a way that's very quiet, but very real. See you in the next video. And until then, slow down a little. Some people don't need noise to shine. They just need peace in the right way. Wishing you peace and happiness